Miracle serum.
We keep having all these problems. How we gonna solve them? Every day it's the same thing. All these unsolved issues, I guess it's official. Here we go again, the same old thing. And I'm tired of arguing and lying. So goodbye.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is July the 5th. No, it's August the 5th, friends, 2024. And today the topic is a firm foundation. Happy Monday. It's Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. And happy second day of 21 days of prayer for us as well. Yeah, man. This weekend was nice, man. Had a nice weekend. I hope you guys had a good weekend as well. Highlights from my weekend is as follows. On Saturday, the main thing was that shout out to Miss Nicole and her awesome family. They came through and took some photos. We went to a park, I think it was in Roswell, and took some photos for NJ's first day of school, which we know is starting in 2 days, y'all. On Wednesday will be his official first day of school. But we took some photos to commemorate this. And Miss Nicole is actually the mother of NJ's best friend, at least best friend at church. His name is Christian and everything like that. And so their whole family was there. And, I think it came together really nicely and everything like that. I added his photos that she sent to the group album that I have of all of NJ's photos since he's been born. Well, not all of them, but most of them. And, I know my sister already gave a shout out and stuff, because I know a lot of kids are already going back to school and things of that nature. But him, like I said, his situation is going to start on Wednesday. But yeah. So we took photos, and then after that, we went to the late soccer, because soccer is now in the evening times. And I mean, technically, it's something I can still do. I mean, I know hubby was saying, my husband, he was saying that he don't know if he'll be able to do, some of the Saturday evenings, but and I was kind of hesitant as well, because I used to do shows in the evening on weekends, but seeing as how my life has shifted and changed, who knows if I'm going to be doing shows again or the type of shows that I was doing before, or whatever the case may be. So we're going to see what happens, but I guess we'll keep him in soccer because he is going to have physical education anyway. And I got to figure out what the school wants us to do about that or whatever. And so if the soccer can help with that, then by all means, we might as well just keep him in it. Because like I said, I should be available on Saturday evenings to take him anyway. So it worked out, or whatever the case may be. And then Saturday was our last, not say cheat day, but the day before our fast started. One of the things that our family is going to do as part of our fast is not order out. So Saturday was my last day ordering out. And so hubby was talking about JD's Fish or whatever. So we got some plates from there. And by the time I got home, I just needed to eat, because I got a bad habit of, I wouldn't say it's a bad habit to eat only once, but sometimes I just go. And then I'll be like, oh, I should have eaten. And like when you're not fasting and you do stuff like that, for me, it'll start being like, oh, I really should have eaten something, So anyway, Saturday was kind of like that. So by the time I got back home and we was eating and whatnot, then I just knocked out and then wake up to like midnight or something after that. And that's when hubby and I finally sat down and was like, okay, what all are we going to do for the fast? And this, that, and the other. And then at some point, NJ woke up, or he might have been already up because he heard us talking and whatnot. So he comes out there, and NJ has decided that he's going to only drink water, with his meals. But as a part of the fast, he agrees to do that on his own. And so I'm like, wow. Even yesterday, he remembered, like, my coworker ended up taking us out to lunch yesterday, And so I didn't spend no money, okay. But he took us out to lunch, and basically when NJ ordered his food, he ordered water. So I was proud of him that he remembered on his own, what to do and stuff like that. And yeah, man, we have kicked this thing off. And speaking of yesterday was a big day over there at Mountain West Church. We had the back to school blessing event. I believe that we will be doing it again tonight as well for the Monday night gathering. I didn't get a chance to fully, experience the outer activities that was going on, but I know there was a dunk tank and, activities and hot dogs and nachos and pickles and a band and all this stuff was going on. I hope they have all this stuff tonight so I can be able to kind of experience it after I get done with the kids. But yeah, so that's what yesterday looked like. 3 gatherings, taking the kids on the stage. It was a whole production, I guess you would say, and whatnot. I didn't get a chance to go sit in the service. Dario did come to the 3rd service, but I didn't get a chance to sit with him because I was working. So, yeah, that's what Sunday looked like. That's what the weekend looked like. Like I said, after that, we ended up going to lunch, and then by the time we came back, I started to get intentional about because another thing that I'm doing as a part of the fast for me is to take in godly content. So no more watching mindless TV and things of that nature. I'm gonna only be taking in godly things. So I know it got a little bit rough last night because I tried to almost was tempted to do things as normal, right? But I pushed through. I was listening to the Abide app, which is this like basically Christian Bible story, help you go to sleep type content. So I was listening to some of that and rebuking the devil and things of that nature. But I just had a conversation. So the reason I look somewhat put together for the juice today, because y'all know I usually be looking like whatever I woke up in the morning looking like. But anyway, it's because I just finished recording a future episode of the GSL Talk Show. And my guest today had me thinking about what I should have did last night, which was to rebuke the enemy with my voice, use the vocal cords, and use the authority that God has given me. So shout out to Pastor Mike. Like I said, y'all probably won't see this episode for maybe who knows, maybe next year. But still, yeah, that was our own time conversation for me today. And preferably will be right on time for when it comes out and things of that nature as well for you all. But yeah, but I had already done the juice or got some juice right before I recorded the episode with him. And so here I am to give to you guys, y'all, a firm foundation. What got me to this topic today was that I noticed that yesterday that idea of a firm foundation kept being reiterated. That as well as some other things that kept being reiterated as well. But yeah, something about being, building on the rock was repeated multiple times yesterday. And so when I was thinking, settling in my mind, I'm like, Lord, what do you want me to talk about? What was those things that was standing out to me from yesterday? He reminded me about a firm foundation. And so I started to look into that. And I did go over there to chatholybible.com and use that app to kind of have a conversation because I know the verses that I came across when I went to openbible.info and plugged in a firm foundation. Those verses were good. I'm not going to say, they were resonating and stuff. But there was something about, I just wanted to go deeper and ask questions, right? Like, what is the point? You know what I mean? Like, because, how can I say this? So we know that there's a lot of people that don't acknowledge Christ. Right. There's a lot of people that just live their life and they don't even acknowledge anything that the Bible has to say. And so they don't see the purpose of anything that the Bible is talking about. Right. So we can sit here and be like, yes, a firm foundation. And, he was what he was talking about. And he's talking about that Jesus is the firm foundation, X, Y, and Z. Jesus is the rock that he's building his church on, the God the Father chose to build his church on. And we'd be like, okay, that sounds good, but what they got to do with me, right? So I kind of was like, for lack of a better way to say, being quote unquote devil's advocate to the Chat Holy Bible app today, and was asking those questions of why, what's the point, and things of that nature. And it was giving me feedback. It was giving me some feedback that I think was important. So let's talk about the foundation. We said that the rock is Jesus. Right now, I'm sure that Peter, and I know even in the on the Chosen series, when Jesus called Peter the rock and things of that nature, that he took that to heart. The other disciples was taking that to heart, and he was like, he changed his name, called him the rock, all of this different type of stuff. But obviously, the rock that Jesus was building his church on wasn't Peter. It was what Peter was saying. And ultimately, what Peter was saying was that Jesus is the Christ. This is a quote that the Chat Holy Bible app was telling me this morning. It says, Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus is the foundation upon which God's church is built. And that truth is what gives us stability and security in the midst of trials and challenges. So even after receiving that, I mean, okay, that sounds good, okay, it's giving me security in trials and challenges. But then I'm like, but why Jesus, right? Why? And so I kind of was going deeper about that. And this is ultimately what it was telling me. It was telling me for stability, for peace, and for guidance. From that point, I started to just kind of think like, you know what? I see what it's saying, that ultimately, I guess life without Jesus is, there's no stability, there's no peace, and there's no guidance. Which we can see that playing out in our lives, right? Those that don't have a relationship with Christ and things of that nature, again, they don't see their purpose, they don't know, who they are. All of these things are in question, right? So then I asked it, I was like, so basically, uh, in order to deal with the ups and downs of life, you need Jesus. And it pretty much was saying yes and reiterating that, I guess I got that correct. And then this is another thing that it was saying to me this morning. It says, having Jesus as our foundation gives us the courage to face challenges, the strength to overcome obstacles, and the peace that surpasses all understanding. So again, like, for example, I mean, I know that there's plenty of things that I've been through in life where maybe, again, before Christ and things of that nature, I was feeling depressed or feeling down or feeling sad or, different things of that nature. But now, right, I can be going through similar things and I have peace. I still got joy. I'm not worried about anything because at the end of the day, I know who's on my side, right? So again, how much more is this playing out in all of our lives, right? So can we just really acknowledge and think like, there are people out there and we can see how it plays out. They get into drugs, they, overdo sex, they, they end up killing themselves. Like there's all these different things that happen when we don't have a relationship with God. Because again, we don't see purpose, we don't value life, we don't, see or feel like there's a point to any of it. And so it's like it can be easily influenced to ultimately to your demise of destruction, right? When you don't have Christ. But what Christ tells us, that we were created for a purpose, we're beautifully and wonderfully made, that he got plans for us and things of that nature, that can give us the encouragement and inspiration to keep going. And like I said, overcome obstacles. And even in the midst of the trials and tribulation that, again, we know it's going to come, we can still have peace that surpasses all understanding. Like I said, I see this playing out in my life. I hope that you guys can see and understand this as well. Here goes some Bible verses that I feel led to write down this morning. So Matthew 7:24 says, everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on a rock. You guys can go deeper and pretty much read Matthew 7:24 through 27 to get that whole account of what that looks like to build your house on a rock versus what it looks like to not build your house on a rock. Like I said, I just wanted to really share the verses and things that can help us see what this practically looks like in our lives and stuff. So, gives us another example in Luke 6:48. It says, he is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid the foundations on the rock. And when a flood arose, the streams broke against that house and could not shake it because it had been well built. So again, y'all, we've already established that we're going to go through the ups and downs of life. We're going to have issues, right? And so at the end of the day, again, we know that those without Christ and those that don't have hope and things of that nature, those issues can really break and tear someone down to the point of either they taking their own life, they're taking the life of others, and things of that nature, right? But um for those that are building their foundation, right? If your foundation is Jesus, right, and He's, again, the author and finisher of your faith, right, and He's the leader of your life and the King and things of that nature, and you're humbling yourself to Him and you're doing things His will, His way. Then at the end of the day, again, you can experience a flood. You can still experience a flood and storm and things of that nature. But it's saying here that it's not going to even shake you because it's been well built. So at the end of the day, again, you want to build on a firm foundation is ultimately what I'm receiving overall this morning. Now, I did want to take a look at what it looks like to not do that, right? So Matthew 7:26 says, and everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. Again, y'all can go deeper and read all of that and things of that nature. But ultimately, what's happening, or the ultimate idea behind that, is that when the floods and the rain and the storms and the things of life comes, it's going to fall. Matter of fact, I felt led to write down this as well. Psalm 127:1. It says, a song of ascents of Solomon. And it says that unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it in labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchman stays awake in vain. So again, y'all, I told you guys before the quote that I feel like the Lord was telling me back during the cultivation period, that got me on this path, right? And at the end of the day, again, I know I can sit here and be pursuing all kinds of, accolades and things, with the career of acting that I was, focused on and all this different type of stuff. And, I could achieve all these, high goals and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't really mean a hill of beans. Again, the Bible tells us, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose their soul? But what He told me at that time, what I feel in my heart and mind that God was saying to me was, the only thing that's going to last is what you do for me. And so that's when I said, well, hey, man, I do want to do something that's going to last. So here I am doing the juice. Here I am, working at the church. Here I am doing the things of God out of obedience, I guess I believe I'm walking according to the plan that He had laid out for me all those years ago. And so again, what the Lord builds is what's going to last and what's going to stand. We can sit here and build as much as we want to, right? Build, you can try to watch over yourself and things of that nature, but both of those accounts or both of those examples ends with the same phrase, it's in vain. And I guess that's ultimately the juice this morning. You guys can, go deeper about all these things and let them marinate on your heart and minds. Now, the Bible verse of today is Colossians 3:23-24. It says, and whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord, and do not unto men, knowing that if the Lord ye shall, or of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forward and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. And there you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing, all those wonderful things. Yeah, I'm going to go and try to rest a little bit because I have another episode of the GSL Talk Show, and then I got to get ready to go to the church. But yeah, man, that's what's on my schedule for today. But I guess I'll let you know tomorrow what it really happens. But y'all have a great Monday, and I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye.